All right, so we're going to finish up section 4.4. So just wherever we left off yesterday in your composition book. So we're going to talk about reference angles today. So the definition of a reference angle is the acute angle formed by the terminal side of your angle and the horizontal x-axis. So the easiest way of saying that is how far am I from the x-axis? That's really what you're asking yourself. So this gives you like some thoughts on what's going on and some ways to figure it out. But honestly, if you just remember how far am I from the x-axis, that's all you need to know for reference angle. All right, so the reference angle for 300. All right, well, 300 degrees is right here. So how far is that from the x-axis? Well, this x-axis is the closest, and that's 360 degrees. So 360 minus 300 gives me a reference angle of 60 degrees. We use this little, what is that, like an apostrophe, I guess, as the symbol for reference angle. All right, so if your angle is 2.3, all right, so remember if there's no degree symbol, we assume radians, right? So 2.3 is going to be almost 2 pi. Remember, pi is 3.14, and that's what this is. So 2.3 is going to be kind of here. So how far is that from that x-axis? Well, this x-axis is pi radians, so 3.14. So if I do 3.14 minus 2.3, I get 0.84. So the reference angle is 0.84 radians. All right, so next we have negative 135. Well, negative 135, this is negative 90, this is negative 180, so negative 135 is right here. So the closest we are to an x-axis is this guy, which would be negative 180. So I can just do that like it's 180 and 135. So if I subtract that, I get 45 degrees. Reference angles are always positive. All right, I just wrote always positive up there. Reference angle is always going to be positive. All right, so if you are in quadrant 1, you are your own reference angle because you're already less than 90 degrees. Okay? All right, so if we're talking 5 pi over 3, so 5 pi over 3 is 1/3, 2/3, 3/3, 4/3, 5/3. 5 pi over 3 is right here. Okay, so how far is that from being all the way the whole circle? Well, this is 2 pi, or 6 pi over 3. So we do 6 pi over 3 minus 5 pi over 3. You are at pi over 3 away. So your reference angle is pi over 3. All right, 7 pi over 6. So we have 1, 6, 2, 6, 3, 6, 4, 6, 5, 6, 6, 6, 7, 6 is here. All right, and the closest x-axis is this guy right here that was 6/6 or 1 pi. So how far is it from 7/6 to 6/6? 1/6. So that reference angle, this little angle right here, is pi over 6. All right, so 8 pi over 11. So that's not one that we can just look on our unit circle and see. So remember, we've talked about how to figure out where something's at. So remember, this is 0. This would be 11 pi over 11. Straight up is half. So half of 11 is 5.5. So we know that 8 is more than half of 11. So we know that it's somewhere in this quadrant. I'm not asking for perfection when you sketch this. It's somewhere in that quadrant. So if this is 8 pi over 11, it's closest to this x-axis, which is 11 pi over 11, or 1 pi. So if I subtract that, I get 3 pi over 11 for my reference angle. All right, that's literally all there is for today. We have this little trig values of common angles, something that you should probably have commit to memory. So we have this little chart that I'm going to give everybody to fill out today, where you're trying to picture in your head certain angles. And if you know those, then you can get everything else, because everything else is a reference angle to one of these. So this is just another thing for you to have to look at to try to help you memorize the things that you need to know. What we're going to spend the rest of today doing is practicing can you identify. So we'll do whiteboards, and I'll say sine of 60 degrees, or I'll say secant of 45 degrees. We're just going to practice, can you picture where that angle is and tell me the piece of the ordered pair that I'm looking for. So again, if you have questions, please let me know, and make sure that you're practicing your unit circle, that you know where everything goes, where the ordered pairs go, and that you're starting to get into a place where you can tell me where an angle is and what that ordered pair is going to be. And a good way to practice that, instead of just filling in a blank unit circle, I shared with you over fall break. So look in the classwork section in the chapter 4 stuff, and there should be a link to an online practice unit circle where you're just putting things in the right place. That'll help you get better at knowing where things are located without having to fill out an entire unit circle.